I hope I have everything. Thank y'all so much for watching. And if you're watching the replay, if you'll follow and not just like, so that way you'll get notifications when we do go live or that we have a new video. Oh my gosh, my cheeks are red. Hello, Linda. Hello, Robin. All right, I have got so much up on this tiny little table. There's some things I want to show you that, you know, if you're ever getting your crafts ready or, you know, you're getting all your supplies out, if you have that crazy supply closet like I have, then sometimes you see other things once you start. Hey, Miss Gail. Miss Gail, thank you so much for tagging me in that cute little, I guess, ribbon yarn hat. It was really, really cute. And I think I'm going to do something like that and make like a long maybe chain. But I want to get some different color yarn. I got a couple of things to show you. I don't know if y'all shop at the Dollar Tree. But when I was in the Dollar Tree the other day, y'all, they are really... You know, they had yarn needles or knitting needles and crochet hooks. They're starting to get a lot of that where we live. And the other day I went in there and we have yarn. And really, I mean, it's not terrible yarn either. It's really, really soft. But the only colors they had were black and this like mustard color. They're really, you know, not mustard, just a really deep yellow, but they're really, really, really soft. So they would make really good like little projects. So if you do like to yarn or you're learning to yarn or knit, I taught myself with one of those books, which it really, you know, is not that bad. It's just you repeat the same thing, especially with knitting over and over and over again. Now, I can't do any complicated things when you start putting those sticks and sweaters and, you know, but I can make some rags and scarves, especially with knitting. Crocheting is, to me, a whole lot simpler. You do a lot more things, but I like crocheting. It's just simpler to me. All right, so I wanted to make a Christmas gnome. We have not made anything but our Christmas tree, the little trees. And I found these cute little boots. And y'all, I think I got these at Kirkland's. I can't really remember. It's either Kirkland's or the Christmas tree store. But they're the cutest little boots. They already have a bell on them. They have these cute little fur collars on the top of them. They feel like they're styrofoam underneath this material. But of course, you know, I'm not really so much huge on feet or arms on these little gnomes, but I thought these were the cutest little ornaments. I guess you could take them apart and have them like single ornaments on a little tree because they're really kind of detailed. They've got a little detail around the top and the little fur and the bells, like a real bell. But, of course, you know, I thought, well, I'll make some little gnomes that actually have boots on. But still not going to do the hands. But I don't need these little strings on these. But I started thinking that I thought they were really cute, just to make it a little bit different too, is I'm actually going to put skates on them. And I had bought these ornaments a while back at the Dollar Tree, and I haven't really done anything to them. The one I've already taken apart had Let It Snow at the top, which you can always use like something small that has words on it, so I'll definitely keep that. And the snowman really isn't too bad. You know, I always cannot stand this little stuff they put on it like that. But just to have like a shape of a snowman for a small little ornament, I like those parts. And then I thought that I was going to have to go out and use my saw and cut these. Hey, Miss Jane. Hey, Mahala. Hey, Miss Cindy. Cobbtown. Cool. You find them at, where did I find? Okay, the little shoes. I believe I might have gotten them at Kirkland's, but it could have been at the Christmas tree store. Or it could, I think I see right here, it says Hobby Lobby. But they were like $10, but you know, you get 50% off if they came from Hobby Lobby. So I guarantee I'd not pay $10 for 4 little boots. But like I said, they're really put together, really cute. But I wanted to go a step further. I had these little ornaments, and they started being really easy to take apart because I thought I really want to make little skates out of this. Skates seem kind of popular this year. So I thought it would be really cute to try to make little skates. I thought when I pulled this stuff loose that I would have to cut these with like the saw or something because they seem kind of thick. But they're just pressed cardboard. When I felt it, it came out pretty good. So I took my little scissors that are kind of like industrial scissors. They're really big. I've cut wood, not this thick of a piece of wood, but considering it's like some kind of pressed cardboard, it just cuts right through it. And I haven't gotten it wet or anything like that. I just think it's just some kind of pressed, some kind of cardboard. It really seems soft for even cardboard. But what I'm gonna do, and it has these little nails in them where the other pieces were, like staples. So I didn't worry about losing them. Getting rid of them because I thought it would be really cute. Now, I want this little gnome to kind of try to stand up. So even though I'm going to put these little skates, and I'm only going to put them on one pair just to make sure. Pair 8.5, they are so cute. I think now that I read on the back of it, it says Hobby Lobby, but that day I did go to like 3 stores, so I was thinking I got them at Kirkland's at first, but then Kirkland always has their name on their tag. So, all right, so I'm gonna put a little glue on this, smash it down really good so it gets in those little staples that are kind of sticking up from this other little piece, and I'll keep the little Santa too. But since I'm gonna want them to stand up, I'm probably going to end up gluing them together when we make the little gnome just so it'll have some stability to it. But I'm not going to cut these yet because I'm like, what if we get down to it and I don't like that? So, or it doesn't quite work out the way I want it to work out. Okay. No. I want to make sure. I think I've got the same size. Believe it or not, they're curving into each other. So I think one is one and one is the other. Okay. So I'm gonna put a little glue on top of this. And I really like this pattern. For some reason this year, I'm liking the plaid kind of, I would say old-fashioned. I would hate to say that to my mom because she probably had this when she was little. I probably had this when I was little. You know, more of like traditional Christmas ribbon. For some reason, I like that. I really like the green too. It looks really pretty. All right, so there we go. I wanted them to kind of look like skates, and they're already stained this brown color. And I like that. I mean, I know skates are supposed to be silver, but I don't care. I just like that they're already brown, and they kind of go with the little fur lumberjack type boot we have anyway. So we're going to keep this pair and not put the skates on it yet, just to make sure this all works out. So we're going to put those to the side. Now, all right, they have not had these at our Dollar Tree the entire time. It's got stuffing in it. It feels like it's got some kind of sand or rock at the bottom, so it'll help it sit up. Sometimes I love to get stuff like this for all kind of parts. The little beard part really isn't that bad if you kind of straighten it up. I'm not real crazy about when it's not the little bead nose, and I knew I would forget something. I'll get the beads at the end. So I don't really like that part. I really like this. They had some ornaments that we did on a window, little swag. I really like that. I'm not crazy about the arms, and the feet aren't really anything. They're just like a piece of felt. So we're going to use bits and pieces of him, but I wanted to show you some other finds too. These are their ornaments. These kind of sit up by themselves, but they had little gnome ornaments this year. kind of the same as that, except there's nothing in the bottom to help it set up because it's actually an ornament. I really like everything about it except the arms and the little nose. So it's not to say I wouldn't use that part. I really don't like it when they don't go all the way around the little gnomes. Now, I don't know what this was supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be Santa. Normally, Dollar Tree stuff is not terrible, but this is really pretty terrible. I think it's supposed to be Santa. The little hat would be super cool on something else, but the little arms, the beard, I mean, you could just maybe use something like this for parts, but I wouldn't. I mean, like I said, it's not really well made at all. Here's another one. But we're going to use some of the parts to make our gnome off of here. Because I really like the little part that's helping weight it down. And I'm not sure if we're going to need that with the shoes, but you never know. And also, different stuff for the hat. I had some yarn, some fabric, like you can buy by the yard. This year at Walmart, they had this, some gold. It had a reindeer, little different reindeers on it, but this is part of their Christmas fabric that you can buy by the yard. I went and grabbed some different little fur. The little part of we used the other half of this mop Swiffer that comes from the Dollar Tree for one of our Halloween gnomes. I did just grab some white, and you can buy this little fur. You can buy it by the yard, which in the long run would be cheaper, especially if you're going to make several of them. But you can also buy these little strips. I got these at Joann's. This come from the Dollar Tree, and this one's exactly like this, but they came from Joann's. And I think they were around maybe like $6. But, you don't need a whole lot. I mean, you see how big this one is, and you're only talking about a little piece about that big. So you really don't have to use. So something like this isn't bad. And this is just a little bit whiter than this. This seems like it's got like a little bit of an off-white in it. So it just depends on what color on the fur. Now for the body, we've got, we had picked up these different kind of gift sacks. And this was the only one that I grabbed. I really liked the snowman for the first one. But the second one was just this plain little plaid. And the reason why I grabbed it is because even though it's just as pretty as this one and it still matches the boots, this actually has a little bit of gold, kind of that little tinsel-y yarn, thread running through it. So as far as like a gnome, and it's a little bit stiffer, I think I may use this, even though I really like this fabric. It's really pretty, and it's really soft. So unless we use his body, I also grabbed these little gift sacks that we had gotten because it really matches this, I can actually put his stuff in this little body, and it actually has like the little trucks on it. The smaller ones that you buy for $5 at Walmart, $4.97, the smaller ones, they come 5 for $1. So you actually get like 1 for $1. Where the ones like this, like the bigger they get, the less you get. And this one has a cute little snowman on it, but it's only one-sided. Where when you get this one, it has 2 sides. And then when you get up to the really big ones, it only comes with one. And if you remember, I made like hangers with them, and I'd have to show you because I really don't even know what you would call it, out of the really big ones, and I love those. All right, so let's get started on taking him apart, so then we can figure out how we're going to put him back together. Do you make the shoes? No, I did not make the shoes. Bought them from Hobby Lobby, and you get 4 in the pack. But they're really cute. I mean, I guess you could go so far as to make, it's just styrofoam in here, and it looks like they even wrapped a type of ribbon around it. It's not a whole piece of, fabric. It looks like it was maybe a ribbon about that wide, and they wrapped it around here, and then they wrapped it around the top. They put a little bit of that fur, but you actually could make these if you wanted to. They have a real little bell with just a single little, jute bow right on the top. But we did put his little skate on there with another ornament that we took apart from the Dollar Tree. Because I just really think, even just by themselves, the little skates look really cute. All right, so I really don't like his arms. These right here, I've noticed, are really easy to take apart. I mean, you start pulling his little beard up, and they've really just glued, well, one of them came apart really good. They really just glued this stuff together, and it really started pulling apart really easy. So like I said, if you ever don't want to get the stuff in, get material, if there's just like one project you're doing and you don't want to go spend $5 or $6 on a whole bag of stuff and buying the material or the felt for this, which you can get a piece of felt for 20 cents. Sometimes it's easier just to go to the Dollar Tree and see what they have this year. And you might find something that you can just take apart. Because like I said, I could take his little hat off right here and use his little body. But see, he's smaller. And like I said, he was easy to take apart. Like these little arms, I mean, I guess if you're into the little arms, you could actually put a little bit of stuffing in here and fill this out. It wouldn't be so flat. It would have a little bit more detail to it. But, like I said, you get a little bit of stuffing in here, just as much as you would need just to do if you wanted to make one. But we're going to take this one apart because I think for the size of this, it needs to have a little body. And even though it's a good little size body, I will probably cover up most of this body and make his nose way down here. But we're just using it because I kept trying to figure out what kind of body I wanted to use. The last time we used a Christmas tree, the little shiny Christmas trees from the dollar store, is the hat. And we put material over it. And, oh, no. Oh, gosh, I thought I lost y'all for a second. Hey, Patty Scott. All right, so we're going to try to pull this one apart as much as we did the other one, and then I'm probably going to have to cut it some more. But I just got these at the Dollar Tree. But see, you know, even if, you know, at the end we wanted to use this, this isn't a bad piece for just $1. You know, and it's got a little place you could put your glue. So don't ever be afraid to buy something just for the parts, because I do it all the time, especially if you're not going to make a lot of stuff. Because see, look, his little hat already has stuffing in it. If you're worried about like a pattern for a hat, see, we could put our material that we're going to use this around this already existing hat, and we already have our shape. But I'm going to make a little bit bigger hat, taller. And I really like this little material. Look at this right here, y'all. See, just taking this apart, we could get a little, what do you call them? Skewer type in there, one of our little craft sticks. And you stick your craft stick up in it, close this up with your yarn at the bottom, and you have one of those little it's going to be raggedy at the bottom right now because I'm trying to just show you really fast. But look, that would be a cute little cloth tree. Let me take the tag off of it. That would probably help. Because I love this pattern, this knitted pattern. And see, if you had like a little stick, you could make those cute and just put it on one of those wooden discs, and you have a cloth Christmas tree. I think that's pretty cute. I might do that with all of those because I really, really like this cute little, I mean, it's like real knit pattern. I don't know if they have for $1, they have to make that with a machine. All right, so we're definitely not going to use his cute little shoes. That'll be about the only thing I get rid of. Now let's see what's in the bottom of it. All right, it's a bag of, I guess that's some type of sand. It's just gonna weight it down. And then the rest of it in here is just stuffing. And it's a good little bit of stuffing. So we can glue him back up once we figure out what size we want him. And let's see, once we put his feet together. And I'm going to go ahead and do our glue. Because y'all know I like things to set up. I don't like to hang anything up. I'm sorry, Dolores, if you're jumping in late. You'll probably have to watch the replay because we've had to say it a couple times. The little boots, we got 4 for, I guess after the 50% off, $5 at Hobby Lobby. Then we used an ornament we took apart from the Dollar Tree to make his little skates. And then we are gluing them together. Then we took a big gnome from the Dollar Tree apart because really don't want to cover up any of his cute little outfit. So I think the bottom is going to be perfect. So I'm going to close this back up without trying to burn myself. And remember, you have to hold this cloth just a little bit longer when you put it back together because it takes hot glue a little bit longer on cloth to harden back up. It's like it takes a minute for it to soak into the material and get hard again. All right, let's see. I order something on Amazon new every day, and you think I would remember to order those little finger protectors, and I always forget. Y'all, with my new phone, it lets me see a lot more people who are jumping on. Before, I would just have all these numbers, and evidently it would just, you know, every now and again say 1 or 2 people that were watching. Now it tells me everybody who's watching. And I don't know a lot of names on here, so if you'll please say hello and say where you're from, and do that a few times as you watch. Sometimes I'll remember where people are from. All right, let's see. A little bit more at the bottom. And I'm just putting the bottom back together that we took apart. And it's still open from the inside all the way down. But I'm probably going to shorten this just a little bit. Because number one, we don't want it as tall. And then we'll put the little weight back in it. Because like I said, maybe it'll help it. Let's see if this was weighted on it. Is it still feels stable? Yeah. Okay. But I really don't like it as tall as it is. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a little bit of this off. So it makes it big. So like this, narrowed a little bit up to the top. We're going to have to do it on this one because, you know, he won't be that big when we put him together. So let's see. Let's make him a little bit skinnier on each side. And I guess you could sew this. Hey, Marie from Arizona. Thank you so much for sprinkling. Yeah, you're right, girl. I have to watch later. Yeah, it's okay. But it's good you're coming on. We had to realize where this was from. Because I was thinking it was from Kirkland's or somewhere else. So I really get into reading the label and see that it says Hobby Lobby. Okay, I'm just turning it in a little bit at the sides. I'm going to put a little bit of glue in there to make him just a little bit skinnier. Because I like the height, but I'm not going to put that much, you know, make him that wide because I think it'll make him a little bit unstable. And I did bring the pipe cleaners out here because last time I bought something with a hat in it. It actually had a little wire in the hat that you could make it flop over instead of like having to fold it over yourself and put a little piece of glue in it. It feels like they probably put a piece of wire in it, but I'm going to put a piece of cloth in it. So I don't even think with this thing back in here, I'm going to have to use much stuffing. Let's see. He's got a little corner poking out. Let's get that corner back poked in if we can. Let that give it just a second to dry. Linda from Oklahoma at the Dollar Tree. Oh my gosh, then they don't have them at ours yet, because I actually kind of thought about that. I even looked at our local Walmart and didn't see any, Linda, but not to say that they don't have them. Ours probably just doesn't have them. Ours is kind of, it's just really more of a grocery store and the crafts department. I mean, it's weird. Sometimes we'll have stuff that other people say it's so hard to get at theirs. But then, like I said, you think finger protectors would be everywhere. But so I looked at Walmart and I went down. And that's when I found the yarn. I was like, well, I'm just going to check. Because now they have, like I said, needles for knitting and crocheting, hooks, all kind of the twine colors now, but they didn't have the finger protectors. But I'll give ours a little while. Sometimes, they just are really late when they get stuff. Like when everybody else already has Halloween or Christmas decorations out, our Dollar Tree is like probably about 2 weeks behind everybody else. All right, so we do like this size, and I'm not going to glue it to it yet. I'm going to figure out what we want to do with his hat. And like I said, I want the hat to be a little bit taller. We're going to use this back piece, so let me take it off of here. We're going to use this back piece. And, this kind of has a little drawstring. But who knows if I can use that. If we had like a little drawstring and did his little hat that way. Then he'll kind of look a little elfish, which would be kind of cute, but who knows. Okay, I'm just going to go for it and cut it. Let's see, but I want it to be taller. And he's going to be bigger. Okay. I'm going to use as much of the pattern that's already here. Like, I'm trying to cut on the side, so I'll have that good seam on the side. And, of course, it was wrinkled in the back when I cut it. Is that going to make a difference? All right, so I'm going to turn it inside out, just like you would if you were sewing it, even though I'm using the hot glue gun. And then we're going to glue it, and then I'll turn it right side out. I've lost the audio to your video. In the office supplies at Walmart, we have them at ours, and it's snowing here. Well, listen, it gets to 30-something in tonight in Waynesboro. I'm so excited. And tomorrow, 20-something, I think in the high 20s. I'm sure it won't last very long, but nobody else is probably super excited about that except me. Hot flashes and all that. It's so windy and cold, like 40-something, and my husband and my daughter are like, oh my gosh, they're dying. And I'm just sitting over here like, this is awesome. Please stay cold for a long, long time. But you know what I just did? Well, it's okay. I left the ribbon in it from the drawstring, but it's okay. It's not like it can do anything. All right. Now this material feels a little bit like ribbon, so let me give it a little bit, or just a second extra to cool off so have a good bond. All right, so the office store in the, I know the little pieces you get when you, instead of licking your finger, there's like little things you could put on there to help you with paper. Is that the same thing you're talking about in the dollar department? $29 tonight in Pensacola, Florida, and tomorrow night. Oh gosh, and if we get and win, I'm sure in Pensacola, The wind is really bad where I am right now. Like, it's knocked all my ferns down today. But I don't care. I'm ready for it to be cold. Wish it was like this all the time. Probably the only person in the world that would want to retire up north where it's cold instead of where it's hot. Okay, so he's inside outwards now, but we're going to turn it right side out. And then that way you won't see the seam. And I hope it cooled off enough. I think I did. Oh, I did use my ribbon. Oh, but it's pulling out. It's not going to do any good. Pull the little piece out. Oh, hold on. Oh, no. Thought the glue had caught it. Toy, my daughter is like that. Had Thanksgiving at our house yesterday. Had it froze you to death. Yes. Well, I mean, I'm just thinking tomorrow I can actually wear winter clothes to work. I can put on a pair of boots. I can put on probably a long sleeve shirt, maybe a sweater. You know, not like a thick sweater, just like, it just kind of looks like a sweater, but it's really, you know, it has those holes in it, so it just looks really warm, but it's not. I have all these scarves that are so pretty, and I never get to wear any of them. No, your rubber fingers like office people will use to turn a lot of pages. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, instead of licking your finger and turning the pages, I know what those look like. No, they are, so that's the same thing you're talking about. Like, okay, so I know what those are, and yes, we do have those. And I thought it was like different, like maybe like a thicker silicone or something like that. I bought some. I know I have some somewhere, and a little stick. Because right when I started, you know, said doing a lot of crafts and watching people, I was like, oh, well, they've got these little things that protect your fingers. So I bought them, and then I didn't use them. And then now that I've gotten this, and it's really hot, I kept putting it off. And finally, after I burned myself like 2 or 3 times in like 1 week, I said, I'm going to go find those. And then I couldn't find them. And the whole time, I really thought I knew exactly where they were. Okay, so there's our little hat. And it's just a little bit bigger than this, but, you know, you can always do you a little fold. I don't want to do really thick fold. But when I put a little stuffing in it, maybe I won't even have to fold it at all. So, and then we'll put our pipe cleaner up in the top of it. Let me get that out so I won't close it up and forget. Maybe I won't need to. And we can put our stuff in. And I've got all of this stuffing from the original one, and I only need a little bit in his body. And this is really good little stuffing that. Ooh, it doesn't, that doesn't smell all that great. Where country they made, ugh. It just smells like machine. Ugh. Okay, so that kind of opened him up a little bit, where I won't have to probably worry too much about my hat. Maybe I can even take it back down because I really like it being taller. Yes. And it kind of has that little, it goes down the back. That's why I always like to use the, you know, edges that are already established if you can. If you can't, it's not the end of the world. But I'm always a take her apart kind of person and put it back together. Dollar Tree has pink finger protectors. See, I don't have, I hope ours, sometimes if I wait like 2 or 3 weeks and go on our Dollar Tree, it's like, oh, what are, they've got all this new stuff instead of going once a week, and I feel like nothing changes. But I went in there the other day to get 1 or 2 things, and that's when I saw these larger gnomes. And like I said, if y'all have had them, our Dollar Tree has not had them. All right, I'm going to kind of wind this up because I don't think 1 would be maybe strong enough to hold the hat over, but 2 kind of feels stronger. And if so, I'll just, let's see, because I want to push this up in here, but I want it to, this to go with it. Let's see. Let's see if it's going to be strong enough. No, I think I need to at least put 3 in there. Maybe they have a heavy duty wire, but I don't use a lot of strong gauge wires for stuff. I have paddle wire, but that's not really that strong. You are freezing up. No, don't tell me that. Y'all, what do you do? There's not like a refresh, is there? Let's see. Go that way. Go this way. All right, I don't know why I'm freezing up. I hope that helps. You know, I don't know anything about this phone, but we are having some terrible, terrible wind tonight. So I didn't even think about that for the live. So let me try to hurry up. And by chance, if I lose you, since we're getting almost close to done, I will post a picture of him. But I think it's going to be really cute with these little skates. Like, even if you have like another little skates ornament that actually has like a little blade on it, or if you want to make some with a piece of cardboard, like cut like a little piece of cardboard out and do the little blade and make it sharper, and then you can paint it silver. But I just thought those, even though they were brown, were still kind of rustic looking. That kind of went with our little gnome pictures. Have I lost y'all? I want to make sure I haven't lost y'all. Either somebody comment or somebody give me some hearts, something. All right, let me see. I need a little bit more stuffing. I don't think very much. Well, I may not, because I need this. No, I don't think I do. I think we're good. All right, so that's what we're looking at right now. We still got to put his little beard on there and put his little nose. And then we're going to put him on his skates. So, still on. We're watching. Okay, thanks. Okay, so we got to decide on, y'all. I'm just really into the like black Christmas stuff too. So that's why I brought out his little black stuff. But I mean, if you really want to make more Santa Clausy looking stuff, the white, I think it's probably going to be a little bit more of your traditional. Let's see. I can probably use the other little, just so we can look at it. See, it almost looks Santa. See, this is the one we took off the other one. It's already cut. So, that's there. That's here. We've got like a little white one. Or we can put a little bit of our black on there. And y'all, somebody who told me to cut this on the back with like a really sharp X-Acto knife and all that was such a genius, because it was so much easier. Okay, so we have like, we can put black on it, even though the more I look at it now, I think it's just cuter with the white. All right, and we can actually probably use this. All right, let's see. All right, I think it's safe to go ahead now, and let me see which side of this that I like better. I think this is the better side. Cross your fingers. Don't you always love how I put it together and I hold it up and then something falls off of it? All right, all right. We'll give this cloth just a little bit longer. And I feel like I could probably try to close this up, but it's really kind of not important. I mean, because I could always stick this pipe cleaner, you know, down in there with some glue. But once I glue his hat around, I mean, it's not like I want to be playing with him. He's not an action figure. Buffy Mann is watching. Buffy Mann is my daughter. I make them vacate the living room since I'm back out here again. Okay. So he's going to have a cute little beard. And I almost want to make his beard just a little bit shorter, because I don't want it to cover up any of his cute little boots. And like when I have this, it's a little too long. And I almost want to make it just a little bit shorter. All right, so I'm kind of turning towards you and me. Just a skosh. All right, so we're gonna put a little glue up here and on the rim and hold that down. Like I said, with the cloth, we need to give it a few more seconds. Did you make the skis? No, it was an ornament at Walmart, the Dollar Tree, that had like it was like a sleigh. And it looked like this. Or it had the snowman on it, and they looked like this. So what I did was I judged where I wanted his feet. And then, believe it or not, this is not wood, and it's kind of not, it's a cardboard, but it's really soft. So I took these heavy-duty scissors. As soft as it is, you probably can score it a few times with your X-Acto knife and probably bend it. But I left it a little point in the back like you would a skate. Kind of has like a little blade on the back of it. And then all I did, and it's got these little staples still on it, but I still just took my glue and just hot glued it on the top. Then I hot glued, after you do both of them, hot glue them together so you'll have that stability for it. I saw where you were just watching, Buff. Okay, so, yep, that's good and dry now. So let's put his little hat on, and I'm putting the little tail part in the back. Hey, Chris, will you go in my room and look on the left-hand side and bring me those beads at the very top of the shelf? The left bookcase at the top is my beads. Like those wooden beads. Thank you, because I don't like this little puffy nose. If you like the puffy nose, it's not huge. Unless somebody walked right up to it, you probably would not see that it's those little, like a little fuzz ball or whatever. And it's kind of got like a fleshy color to it. It's not the end of the world if you didn't want to put your own bead on it, but I don't like it. Okay. So make his little hat come down in the back. Thank you. I have some of these beads, I think, in here. Oh, no, Chris, look on the other side. And there's a box on the other cabinet, just about the same thing. There's a box of this right here that has raw beads in them. Like big beads. They're not connected to a chain, a string like that. Okay, let's go ahead and put this on here. And I can lift his little top up and put his bead on there. Which now, the more I think about it, I think I either have too much stuff in there or I need to put it up. Because it actually needs to go down a little bit. But remember, we've got our little, well, maybe they're wire. Maybe that's why they probably had a strong wire in there. But it's still, we can fold it down because of the pipe cleaner that we put in it. Yes, thank you. I don't know why I told you the other one. All right. So I'm just going to put like a big little wooden bead in here and on a big one. And I'm not going to paint it or anything because that way, you know, the little raw wood is closer to this fleshy tone than if you stain it. But you can paint them white, paint them black, you know, whatever. And this has got a lot of black in it. So I think even having a cute little black nose would be really cute. Okay. We'll try to put a lot of glue in here and get it down in one time. And I'm leaning it a little bit to the back. Oh my gosh. See, when you get started with this, you think, if you wanted to put little arms on him, you could put the little ski poles on there and make it more or less not skates, but skis. Okay. Ooh, that's still really hot, so let me give that just a second. Roby, it really is the best. Bought one after seeing her use it. It is. No, I did not make the skis. I think that was the same question. I'm sorry, it froze. What brand of glue gun? The Ryobi. I got mine off of Amazon, but Home Depot, not Lowe's, owns Ryobi. So besides Amazon, the only other place I know that you can get it is in Home Depot. Don't make the mistake, I went to Lowe's first and just knowing the whole time, but they own Ryobi. Lowe's, that's what the lady told me, is they have bought it, so that's why you can't buy it at Lowe's. And as of right now, this is the only one that I know that has a hot glue gun. I mean, before long, they've got to see how awesome it is. You know, other brands may get it, like DeWalt and things like that. But if you do buy one, always remember to get 2 batteries, because like this one will probably last me about an hour and a half, 2 hours. But, you know, if I'm sitting here talking, or sometimes when you're crafting, you're not using the glue gun the entire time, but it still has to stay on to stay hot. So, I mean, it only takes 30 minutes to charge this battery, but you still wouldn't want to have to stop crafting to wait 30 minutes. Okay, so here we are. Our little Santa, I guess Santa gnome. And he actually has a good little bit of a room right here. And you know, everybody always like does their little whiskers out. I never think about that. But it is cute. I mean, in this little thing, see, it looks really cheesy to me on here. On how this is how it started. Where we took it all apart and used. I mean, not cheesy, but you know what I mean. It just, I don't know if it's just all this stuff. But then it kind of makes him look like a little wiry on here. So, all right, so let's try to get this on here. This always takes me a minute because to me, it's easier to glue it to like the top of the hat instead of trying to put it on that fur. And I have to get it just right because I don't want you to see the little holes on each side. They do make beads that don't have these holes, but considering we make so many different garlands and hangers and stuff with these beads, I have not bought the ones. I only bought like a couple one day that was just had no holes in them. And that's the only, I mean, I don't make gnomes very often, so I'm just not gonna spend a whole lot of money. Now he looks like he's got boogers. Hold on. Okay. And we did a little thing out, but yes, if you put arms on him, let's see about these little tacky arms. Where were the arms that were on this one? Let's see here. Well, here they were. Yeah, these were just not good little cute arms. They didn't even have like little hands. The little tiny ones at least have hands. If you took maybe off the little tiny ones, and you're just going to pretend you've made some kind of stick, like a little stick with a ball on the end of it or something, and you put them on his little hands, you could actually make him have like little poles, like if it was skis instead of skates, because they kind of look more like skis, you know, because I left them this brown color. But I think he turned out really, really cute. And like I said, we didn't end up using these little hats, but that is such a cute little idea to take the hat. Here, let's put him right there. See, he turned out really, really cute. I like him. Now, I thought about making a little pom-pom for the top of his hat, a little black, but since we end up using this white, I have some white, so let's make him a little pom-pom. It's kind of like a really more sandy color, but let's see where the string starts. Okay, is it tucked in there? There it is. All right. Make a little pom-pom real quick. This isn't as white as his nose. It's more like a twiney color. But I think it'll still probably make a little pom-pom. But if it looks too different, then we'll find something else. All right, I just looped that around my fingers and time one end off before I cut it. And we'll just make a little double knot, which I call like a girl's knot, because I think this is about the only one some of us know. It's the only one I know. Put a bell hanging from his hat. Super cute. And I have some bells in here, but I only have kind of a bigger bell. I got like this little pack at Walmart for $3, which would be cute. All right, let's see. But he's got a bell down here. I wish it was the same color as that. Y'all, I'm weird about that, things having to match. All right, so, but I just really kind of wanted to show you that you don't always, you know, have to go and make a project from scratch. I mean, sometimes it's pointless. Like, say if you're not a huge crafter, or you know, you only kind of make a couple of things. You know, every season. If you're only going to make a couple of little things, I'm actually going to make it a little bit shorter than that. Then don't go, like I said, don't go buy the stuffing. Don't go buy, you know, all this cloth and supplies you need. I mean, besides the little shoes and that one bag, and you can always use material. I mean, you can cut up an old shirt. Besides the little gnome and a couple little things, you know, you could have used the old nose off the other one instead of what I used. You could have just taken that dollar one apart and, you know, added a couple little things that are cute for you. And okay, so we made this little pom-pom. Now, is the color too off from his beard? Because, let's see, if I put it up on the shelf and it looks like this is dirty compared to his, I can always pull this off. So let's leave that on there for just a second, because this cloth always takes a second to dry. Make a little pom-pom. But you could, I mean, like I said, you could have always used the little things off the other one. All right, let's see. So there he is, except his little strings. And we just made him out of all kind of other little things. And that way you don't end up with a whole lot of supplies that you don't need, that you're not going to use. And then you feel like, this is why I don't craft, because you wanted to make something that roughly should cost you just a few dollars, and it's cost you $20 to make something that's just $1. Unless you're going to make a lot for your family and friends. But I think he turned out really cute, and I'm so glad y'all watched tonight, and I will see y'all tomorrow night.